You join me in a field, not just any field, this is an empty field. There is no one about for miles except me. So this field is my field. My field, and the person who is in that wood line over there, just off camera, about 200 metres, who keeps making a lot of noise, who's probably going to end up attacking me in the middle of the night. That'll be interesting for him, won't it? Welcome, you legends and heliheads, you choppers and stick bangers, you twizzle whizzle thumbs, they're amazing, you swipey wipies, you amazing subscribers, and of course, you scale helicopter pilots. Anyway, look, apart from being in the middle of nowhere and possibly being a victim of countryside crime at 2 o'clock in the morning, either that or being attacked by a bear, and we don't have bears in the UK, so serial killer it is, I think. This is a quick talking head video, really, on this amazing event held by Midland helicopters in the middle of nowhere with serial killer, but in the middle of nowhere in the Midlands, funnily enough, which has been the scale helicopter fly-in this weekend, which has been a fantastic event. Now look, it's very easy to use hyperboles with things like this. Everything's fantastic, everything's gorgeous, everything's amazing. It's 2025, we don't call it what it is, which is sometimes shit. This was not a shit event. There you go, I'm putting it out there. Most people turned up on Friday, and when I turned up Saturday morning, early doors, 8 o'clock, indeed there was a lot of caravans and tents and so on, and people had turned up Friday from across the country. After arriving at about 8 o'clock for half an hour saying hello to people, there was then a small crowd of people that gathered, and that small crowd grew into a larger crowd who were taking much humour at my pathetic attempt at trying to put up my tents and stuff, which actually completed itself at 11 AM. That's right. 3 hours to put a tent up. You wouldn't believe I was in the infantry for 26 years, but 3 fucking hours to put a tent up. Anyway, I digress. Look, Saturday it was blowing a gale. I put some update videos, so I think I've done 3 in total, with the third one being today. But it was blowing a gale on Saturday, and actually that was a blessing in disguise, because it allowed me, It allowed me to get about and say hello to people. It allowed me to really take a good look at these scale machines. On the Saturday, there were 42 that I counted, and there were 5 of the same model. And they were the Bell 222 Airwolf. So there really was a great deal of diverse scale machines here this weekend. Now, when I say diverse, I'm talking from the sort of extreme edge of like Vario, for example, right down to those people who had just got a fuselage, say from Funky, and chucked a mechanics in there and spent 2 years pissing about with lights and retracts and sound machines and all sorts. Yes, it was a big range of scale helicopters here this weekend, which was wonderful to see. No one judged, and that was very obvious. No one passed judgment on anyone else's machines. Everyone just enjoyed everyone and their machines, whether that was on the Saturday when they weren't flying, when they were walking around, when they were looking at them, or whether it was like today, the Sunday, beautiful weather, perfect conditions, and indeed people queuing up to fly their machines. I actually took about 5 or 6 videos of individual helicopters and spoke to the owners and done a little bit of an introduction. I'm going to put them videos up separately because they are deserving of that. They're just wonderful machines, and those pilots who own those, who have built those, who have sweated over those and toiled over those, they deserve the right to be able to see their flight. And you know what, if you reach out to me, you're welcome to have the full video for your own personal collection. But other than that, I'm going to take your permissions and they're going to go on HeliShed, and that's the end of that. I learnt some lessons this weekend talking to a lot of pilots. The first one is this: if you're thinking of starting a scale project, It doesn't actually matter whether it's a Vario and therefore you're going to buy hinges and rivets and get into the intimate details of what scale or your perception of scale helicopters are, or whether it's a Roban where you're going to buy an entire kit like the beautiful Apache that we saw here owned by John. Unfortunately, I didn't get that flying, but next time. Or whether it's, as I said, you know, whether it's throwing the mechanics inside a fuselage, such as I have with Bella. There's no real definition of what is acceptable in scale, nor actually is there a real definition of what is accepted as scale flight. And even if there was, no one's going to come up to you and tell you that. They're not going to say you're flying too quick for a scale model. They're not going to come up to you and tell you you're a rivet missing above the third window. That's myth. I'm telling you right now, that's myth. Because everyone I've spoken to were just wonderful people who enjoyed this hobby, who his particular interest was in the actual scale side of things. Something that actually looks like a helicopter. If you weren't in this hobby and you were shown a pod and boom helicopter, you would know it was a helicopter because it would have whirly things on top, right? Rotors. But actually you would say, well, that's not a helicopter, is it? You've just got a stick for the, surely it's there's a frame and a cockpit and think, you know, pod and boom is acceptable to us as helicopters because that's what we fly. But to everyone else, it's not. They expect to see this sort of thing or what you're seeing up here for what defines a helicopter. So look, the bottom line is that it doesn't matter what you're going to do. No one's going to tell you it's not good enough. No one's going to tell you that you're flying it wrong. They're all great people. And just like the sport flyers and stick bangers, who are another sort of subculture, if you like, of RC helicopters, everyone is just acceptance of everybody else. No one is out to make your life difficult. No one is out to make your hobby difficult at all. They're just good people. I think I may have over-talked myself and missed the point of that bit, but the point being is that there's no real definition of scale. And if you're going to buy a Vario or a Roban or a fuselage or whatever, the minute you get your instructions, throw them out the window. Throw them out the window, go with your gut and build that helicopter with your experience. And if you don't have any mechanical experience, if you don't have any sort of builder experience of helicopters in general, and you want that to be your first tranche in, it's what you really want to do, then do yourself a favour. Number one, join a club. And number two, put your hands up and say, I'd really love to fly a helicopter that looks like a Wessex. And see where the club advice leads you. It may well lead you to flying something like, where is it? I think you can see her down there, little scrope, the M2 V3 Pro, or a small helicopter like that, and getting your skills in orientation and hover and so on before actually committing to flying a scale helicopter. But scale helicopters have not got to be gigantic. We saw scale helicopters here this weekend that were on the scale of 1 1/4 size, like the Airwolf and the MI8 and the MI24J and the Llamas and so on. They were massive, purely, you know, they were literally massive helicopters. But we also saw some great 500 size helicopters. Terry's 600 MI24 was just a joy to watch fly. Likewise with Kenny's AH1 Cobra. And there were some wonderful Bell 222s at 500 and 600 size. They looked brilliant. So look, don't think you've got to go out there and spend tens of thousands of pounds and invest in decades of building a helicopter or learning to fly it before you can fly scale. You don't. You can go out there and you can buy a second-hand one and make it yours, or join a club, learn to fly, and then go on the scale journey. Anyway but lose. You're not going to lose. Anyway, that was a film, wasn't it? Anyway but lose. Yeah. So anyway is a winner. You're not going to lose. Simple. What about my journey? What did I... What about my journey? What did I learn, particularly with Bella? And did I get to fly her, etc.? Yes, I did. And look, a shout out to all those people that helped me with regards to head speed, gyro settings and so on. Super Moon paid me a visit today and I was so pleased to see him. I gave him a massive hug. And look, I'm very grateful for Super Moon of coming to the rescue on Friday night and helping me with the final setup of Bella, and then to come today to give further support and further advice. Well, you know, I'm not really an emotional person, but then I am, to be honest with you. If you get to me, you'll get to me, and some things today got to me. What got to me today was how very helpful people were, how very understanding people were, and how their way they went for me today. Yeah, I'm very grateful to everybody. And again, humbled, to be honest with you. There were people that turned up today that were visiting or because I said, come and watch these beautiful helicopters, come and say hello, etc. And they did. One travelled from Birmingham, another one travelled from Scotland, essentially. There's a lot of Scottish people in the scale helicopter world, and there's a disproportionate amount of Daves, I feel.
How dare you?
Now, I'm not sure what's going on there. Are there more Daves in Scotland than there are anywhere else?
How dare you?
Are you a Dave over there? Is that a Dave over there in the woods making noise that's going to assault me at 2 o'clock in the morning, nick me sausages and me last can of Coke?
How dare you, sir?
A disproportionate amount of Daves. It's as simple as that. So to all the mothers in Scotland, please stop naming your kids Dave, because they all grow up to be over 50 and throw themselves into helicopters.
How dare you?
It was also interesting of note, the very real stories that I was privileged to hear this weekend on a serious note. And that is how radio-controlled helicopters and this hobby has not only saved people's drive in life, but it has given them purpose and place outside of that which is their career or their workspace. And genuinely, that has been immensely important for a lot of people. We seem to forget the importance of, and it's almost a 2025 buzz terminology, of mental health and well-being, but we live in a very, very tough and challenging world. It has never been more tough and challenging since before World War I, whether that's economically, socially, militarily, or anything else. People are finding it very difficult to put food on the table. People's time have been removed from any spare that they had. The world is a very challenging and depressing place. There are wars on many fronts, and we fight wars by proxy. Argumentatively, perhaps another video sometimes, I already think we're in World War III. It's happening, we're just in it, we just don't recognise it. World War III is about a war of proxy, and it's everywhere, and it can really drive you into the ground, and it can depress you, even if you're not aware of that sort of thing. Life can be difficult. We all have challenges. Some people have health challenges. Some people have career challenges. Some people have family challenges. We all have challenges. And we must all find a way in which to challenge those challenges and negate them. And for a lot of people that I've come across, that this hobby really has saved people's drive for life. And that is just a continuum of this hobby that I come across. This hobby is important to people. The people that do it know how important it is. And that is humbling when it's shared with you, whether that is due to health or anything else. So for them, you know what I say? Keep going, keep enjoying it. That's why you do it. Don't forget that. So in summary, you know that person that I said was in the woods? I think it's me. Up! Hello! 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 I think there's an echo. Hello! It is me. No, it can't be. So look, in summary, Midland Helicopter Club, the scale flying, well done. you should be proud of yourself. People bought into the event. There was over 102 people on the Sunday, I know because I counted them. And there were, you know, a huge nuance and range of scale helicopters. Everybody I saw had a smile on their face. Everybody was enjoying everybody else's flying, even if that was slightly erratic and too fast. Everybody enjoyed the weekend. Midland Helicopter Club should be very proud of themselves for what it is that they've put on, and long may that continue. The next scale helicopter event, I believe, is in Buckminster, the home of the BMFA. You should support that. So if you're watching this and you've got a scale helicopter, or even if you haven't, then you should go along to it. Don't be a one-field wonder. There are events out there by helicopter clubs, and look, challenging world, challenging hobby, we all need to support each other. And I intend over the next couple of years to get about as much as possible. So do please invite me along to your event or invite me along to your club. I'd love to come along and say hello and fly with you. And if I'm not your cup of tea, then fine. Don't ask me to come along. Simple as that. Right, that's it. I hope you enjoyed the videos I've been putting up there, and look out for those flights. I keep looking over there because I want to get off the camera now and go and find out whoever that is, and then beat them with their own ankle before they attack me at 2 o'clock in the morning, nip my sausages, Coke and everything else that I've got left. Or it could end up being me, and I could end up assaulting me, I don't know, but I'm going to go and find out. Take care, see you later, legends. Remember, it's all about the journey. Bye!